Hello everyone. So if you look at this three-dimensional view, probably you'll try to understand this is more like a cube. This is the first side, maybe this is the second side, this is the third side, and on back of that, this dotted lines which have been shown. So probably this one forms the back side, the second back side, and the third back side. So this looks more like a three-dimensional figure, which we all always see as a two-dimensional figure. So if you see as a two-dimensional figure, you'll only find a hexagon. But if you look at the three-dimensional figure, probably over here as the dotted line which have been shown on the back side, or probably if you look at the three-dimensional figure over here, this is where he's talked basically about the hexagon and the cube together. And he has very clearly mentioned over here, the cube or hexagon proves exactly the law which works because of time and space in the market. Welcome to our next video, which is pertaining to sacred geometry, esoteric occult findings through the interpretations of the tunnel through the air book. Now, in this book, what we specially find is we find a pyramid also over there. So, pyramid is again something related to sacred geometry, as we have already mentioned. Now, before going into sacred geometry, I wanted to show you something really interesting so that you may be developing that curiosity about sacred geometry, what has been written, and how are the interpretations regarding that. Now, in the book, Master Commodity Course by W.D. Gann, Chapter 17b, which is the Hexagon chart. Now, let me show you an Hexagon chart. This is what the Hexagon chart looks like. So, I've just taken a snap of this together. This is what we interpret this together as a cube. We are just joining the lines, and probably if you try to interpret this, this also is like a cube. Let me show you a clear picture. This website will probably give you a better idea. Now, this looks like a hexagon, but if I try to probably put it in a 3D format, this should be looking for you as a cube. So I guess this should be making things much more easier and clearer for you also, that this probably is not a hexagon. So probably you can look it from a different perspective. This is just to make your ideas much more clearer and easier for you to visualize. I understand that maybe probably things may not be easier for everyone to visualize this as a hexagon. So yes, definitely this can be seen and this can be probably visualized overall. Let's get back to our topic. This is where probably you would be able to see this as a cube, and where W. Gann has mentioned about this hexagon as a cube. Let's try to look at those perspective also. So as I told you, this is chapter 17b, the hexagon chart of Master Commodity Course. He especially mentioned something about that. You can just go through that quickly. So here he is talking about maybe the first circle up to 6, then the second circle, the third circle, fourth circle, fifth circle, sixth circle, and these details have been given. You can just probably go through the details. If you don't have the book, please let me know. I'll send across the book to you. Let's go to the interesting part. I'll probably try to read over here. Market movements are made just the same as any other thing which is constructed. It is just the same as constructing a building. First, the foundation has to be laid, and then the 4 walls has to be completed, and last but not least of all, the top has to be put on. The cube or hexagon proves exactly the law which works because of time and space in the market. When a building is put up, it is built according to a square or hexagon. It has 4 walls or 4 sides, a bottom and a top. Therefore, it is a cube. Now, he has written about that more of in detail, and probably he is also saying that study this in connection with the hexagon chart. It will help you. So that we should study the hexagon chart as a cube. But how to do that? Now, if we try to look at the hexagon, as I've already told you, this is a two-dimensional figure. And whatever W. Gann has taught us in terms of the two-dimensional figure, we should look at those perspective always with a three-dimensional view. So if you look at this three-dimensional view, probably you'll try to understand this is more like a cube. This is the first side, maybe this is the second side, this is the third side, and on back of that, this dotted lines which have been shown. So probably this one forms the back side, the second back side, and the third back side. So this looks more like a three-dimensional figure, which we always see as a two-dimensional figure. So if you see as a two-dimensional figure, you'll only find a hexagon. But if you look at the three-dimensional figure, probably over here as the dotted line which have been shown on the back side, or probably if you look at the three-dimensional figure over here, maybe things would be much more easier for you to understand. This is where he's talked basically about the hexagon and the cube together. And he has very clearly mentioned over here, the cube or hexagon proves exactly the law which works because of time and space in the markets. This is where we'll be finding the cube, and we'll discuss more about the cube in the platonic solids. So platonic solids would be the basis of our sacred geometry. We'll try to discuss more about this in sacred geometry part, and we'll also come down to the platonic solids, how they have been related, and what we would be finding in the platonic solids, so how we should be going further to the platonic solids and try to find maybe the cause of creation. Maybe there are some interesting books which takes us towards the goal of creation. So creation is again something which is something similar and important for us. So we'll go towards those things. Also, we'll try to see much more other books which maybe are something really interesting for us. Thank you so much, and probably we'll meet you in the next video. Thank you so much. Bye. Take care.